The Mount Washington Hotel was built in 1902 by a man named Joseph Stickney. He was a coal magnate. He had been the previous owner of a hotel located across the street, and in 1902 he brought 250 artisans to America from Italy, who then proceeded to build a hotel. Thomas Edison himself, he was a good friend with Mr. Stickney, and in fact the opening night of the hotel, Thomas Edison gave the toast in the main dining room. Perhaps the greatest moment in the hotel's history came in 1944 when the hotel was the host of the Bretton Woods International Monetary Conference. That was the conference that established the World Bank and the international monetary policy that still exists today. Another interesting aspect of the history of the resort includes some of the great names such as Babe Ruth, who came here and played golf here. In fact, today, in our existing clubhouse, there's a locker room, and the lockers are all from the original locker room, and one of the lockers has Babe Ruth's name on it, and it was his locker. The Mount Washington Resort is actually a composite of three different parts: the Bretton Woods Ski Area, the Mount Washington Hotel, and the Mount Washington and Mount Pleasant golf courses. As part of the restoration of the resort and renovation and expansion, there's a lot of things going on. The first part of it was the renovation of the hotel. Here in the Great Hall, as we like to call it, there's going to complete change in the decor and the carpets, the general lighting of the hotel. However, it was all done to replicate what was original here. For example, the moose head is back above the fireplace. The carpets here in the hotel all represent the indigenous species of plant life that only grow on Mount Washington. And then all the Windsor-back chairs were reproductions of the two originals we had left. Another unique aspect of the restoration that's gone on here has been the restoration of the main dining room. It is a replication of the way it looked at the turn of the century, albeit updated. It's lighter, it's airier, but we did preserve the existing chairs. One of the great porches in America, perhaps the only one that rivals it, would be the Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island. And we think ours may be a little longer. They may argue with us about that, but we have an incredible view. Theirs is of the Straits of Mackinac, ours is of the National Forest and the Presidential Range. We've had a great change also in the front entrance of the hotel. You now enter the hotel from the front, and you look at Mount Washington and the spa as you come around that side. We're also doing our rooms. We have all the rooms have been renovated, at least partially, and we're completing the balance of them this winter and the following spring. Perhaps one of the greatest amenities here at the resort is actually the Mount Washington Golf Course, a Donald Ross golf course built in 1915. Donald Ross was the father of American golf course architecture, so to have one of his early designs was really something unique for the resort. And so we hired Brian Silva, who is a resident here in New Hampshire, one of the great architects in America, to do the restoration of the golf course. And so in many instances, we've added back things that weren't there since the original design, but it is very contemporary in terms of its playability and plays to almost 7,000 yards. So it's a stern test for even the best golfers today. In the 105 years of the history of the resort, there has been no additional construction until now. And what we've added is a new spa and meeting space. The spa and meeting space is the first new addition. It is about 40,000 square feet in total. It has the first level is a spa. It has 13 treatment rooms. And the second level above is the meeting space, which is a junior ballroom of 3,600 square feet, divisible, and then 3 boardrooms that look out at Mount Washington. We're really excited about all the renovations and expansion that's taking place here at the resort. We're using the authenticity, the history of the resort as our platform to go towards the future. So we think it gives a lot of impetus to why folks ought to want to come and visit one of the great American resorts, the Mount Washington Resort.